friends, I'm Kona. Welcome back to my channel. Today we've got a little speed build, and I do mean little. Um, and this is a little 5x5, or it's 5x5 minus 1 square. So it's technically not like a 25 square. I don't know what to call the squares. Centimeters? Because they're not like meters, but they're centimeters. Like they're whatever unit of measurement we use to like call the grid in the game. It's missing a little chunk out of it. So it's not 25 squares. It's 24. But it's a 5x5 build. That's what we're calling it. 5x5 tiny home, tiny house. I can't remember whether I'm calling it a home or a house. But like, because like it's a house, but it needs Sims to like make it a home. It's very early in the morning, so I'm being cheesy. I'm actually worried that I've missed my window to record because the traffic noise is picked up. I'm recording this on the morning that the Max's Monthly was on. The Max's Monthly is at like 5 AM for me. And I needed to sleep last night instead of record, so I got up early to record, but then I remembered that the Max's Monthly was on, so I watched that, and now there's traffic noise, so I'm really sorry if you hear traffic noise. If you're new to my channel, my office is, like, I have windows that face a road, so I record at night to avoid having too much traffic noise, because my videos are plagued with audio issues. I'm really sorry about that. I'm actually hoping to get a new mic this month to like try and improve things, but whoop, there goes Truff. Hi Truff, thanks for stopping by. Really appreciate it. It's also garbage day, but I think the garbage truck's already been, so you shouldn't hear my rubbish being picked up. But anyway, I should talk about the build maybe. This tiny house was actually inspired by a picture that I saw online, like heavily inspired. The floor plan isn't. The floor plan is my own, but I mean, what floor plan there is, it's a tiny house, so there's only so much that can fit. I originally had wanted to have the bed in that nook on the right, but I ended up like, I needed to put the kitchen there because the kitchen wouldn't fit over on the left probably. I've done a lot of clipping things into walls in this build just to maximize space, and I think it looks good. Oh, and you'll notice that actually the build is currently 4x5, but I end up stretching it out to be a 5x5 just to have a little bit more space, because I wasn't doing this as like a challenge. This was actually because, oh, I actually recorded this a few days ago because I thought that I was gonna be putting it out that day. And what I'd actually had on my schedule was I was going to do my real life house build, but I ended up not having very much time that day, so I was like, well, I'll do a tiny house. And by not very much time, this still took me like a couple of hours or something. I don't know how long it took. I haven't looked at how long the footage was before I sped it up, but it was at least 2 hours, probably like 3 or 4, to do just a tiny house, because I'm a very slow builder. But anyway, it's fully like landscaped and stuff. Oh yeah, this bathroom, I actually managed to fit a sink in the bathroom by clipping the toilet and the sink into the wall. And in a minute, I'm gonna like bring my sim self in to test it. Like at first the sink didn't work, but then I could push it back into the wall a little bit further, and it did work. So the house has been play tested and everything works. Actually, I don't know if the mailbox works, but you know, the mailbox is still functional. Like the post person just says like, oh, I threw your mail in and whatnot. You don't need to be able to get to a mailbox. Yeah, I had a lot of trouble with the roof there because I originally wanted it to conform to like that cutout, but it just looked kind of dumb on the other end. So I ended up just like having it stick out over the cutout part. Yeah, it's kind of a strange roof, but I don't know, I like it. I wanted just like a kind of quite modern style for my little tiny house. I actually really quite enjoyed doing this because at least it was shorter than like a lot of the other builds that I do, and like I liked the kind of puzzle aspect of fitting stuff in, so I might actually do more tiny houses in the future. Oh, here I am, like I removed that wall so I don't actually end up using that towel, but I wanted to hang a towel off the kitchen counter. That's not an idea that's actually original to me. I can't remember where I first saw that, but I absolutely love the idea of hanging a towel off the kitchen counter. So that's why I've done that. I think it's really cute, but you do have to remove the wall in order to put the towel into the counter a bit. Sorry I've got the grid on for so much of this video. Like I usually try and build with the grid off, except when I'm doing like the actual initial shape. But because it's a tiny house, like it helped to have the grid on a little bit to sort of get an idea of the space of everything and like what would and wouldn't fit. So if you're really annoyed by having the grid on, I'm sorry about that bit where it was on. I go for fairly plain walls, just like this is my like wall, like that's my wall covering that I use the most, just like that grey with the baseboard and molding. I don't really like to use the walls that don't have baseboards because I've never lived in a house that didn't have baseboards, and I feel like the like ones that just have the baseboard and don't have like the molding up the top, they don't come in as many colors and they don't look quite as like clean and nice, and also I think they're not as cheap as these ones with the molding, which is really strange because like you'd think that this looks like a fancier wall covering with the detail up the top, so it's strange that it's more expensive, but it's The Sims, so like sometimes things are strange. I clipped out me like fiddling around to get these lights in the right place, and actually I think I change them again because my partner encouraged me to extend the outdoor space, I believe. Oh, and I initially I wanted to use that pool grate at the bottom of the downpipe, but it emits bubbles, so I had to go with the vent that we got in City Living, which still looks fine, but I kind of I really wanted that square grate instead, but I didn't want it to just emit bubbles all the time. I wish there was an option so it would only emit bubbles when it's underwater, rather than just all the time. But there we go. If you want to have something where bubbles are coming up in one of your builds, totally use that object, because it does generate bubbles. Okay, so yeah, there isn't a computer in this house, but I did put the tablet on top of the bookcase so they can do some computer related things on the tablet. Because my partner was like, well, they don't have a computer, so it's not a fully functional house, because you can't not have a computer. He doesn't actually play The Sims. He just has opinions about a lot of things. That's okay, I love him. But yeah, I decided I wanted a privacy fence in the backyard, just so because this is such a small house, I wanted to have a good sized living area outside, but I didn't want them to be living on show out there, so I used the large privacy fence, and I think it turned out quite nice. Not really sure what else to say about this house now. And moving on to landscaping. I wanted a fairly lush landscaping. I didn't want it to be too manicured. Even though it is a small space, I wanted it to be overgrown is not the word, but lush kind of is the word. I wanted them to have a good amount of green. Because I feel if you're living in a small space, it helps to be able to spend some it's good for everyone to spend time outside in green space, that's really good for your health. So that's that was kind of my thinking with the backyard, to just like have this little kind of oasis of green space for your Sims to like enjoy and just like soak in. This isn't a starter home, by the way, but it is quite cheap. I think it came to like 33,000 and something simoleons. So like it's the kind of house that like you could live in quite quickly after a starter home. I don't know like if your Sim would necessarily want that, because it is very small and there's not a lot of room to expand. I built this on a small lot, so if like you put it on the 20 by 50 lot that I have it on, it's not like there's a lot of room for you to expand to like have a family. But if you have just like a single Sim who like wants to continue to live as a single Sim, then I think it would be kind of a nice place to live. There is only a single bed, but so yeah, it's for a single Sim. I guess you could build upwards, like extend it up and have like a second and third story or something. But I didn't do that. I just made a home for a very like a Sim that wants to live quite simply, and to live alone, which I can relate to. Anyway, we're going into the screenshots now. I hope you enjoyed the build. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, please leave it in the comments down below. I love reading your comments. And I will speak to you again very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye!